May I request all the photographers to kindly move to the edges? Photographers, please move to the side. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, we have the mystic, the yogi, the Sadhguru here with us. So salute the man. Salute him for his amazing commitment, for his mission. Thank you so much, Sadhguru, for your immeasurable dedication, focus, and sacrifice. Thank you so much for doing this for the world. Ladies and gentlemen, as we continue with our program, we are honored to have Sadhguru here as we move to request the Honorable Raksha Mantri, Shri Rajnath Singh, who will join us at Air Force Station Sulur on the screen. So ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together and welcome the Honorable Raksha Mantri, Shri Rajnath Singh.
Why is it not clear? What's the reading?
We're having a little technical issue with the feed from Delhi. So ladies and gentlemen, the Honorable Raksha Mantri. We can hear you, sir.
Hello? Hello, voice is clear? Voice is clear? Okay. Shraddhe Sadhguru Ji, Air Marshal S.K. Indoria, Air Vice Marshal S. Srikant, other participants in the program, and friends from the media. It gives me immense pleasure to be with you today on the occasion of International Day of Yoga. I was eagerly looking forward to meeting you all in person, as well as to have the blessing of revered Sadhguru. However, certain unavoidable official commitments have forced me to miss the great opportunity to be with Sadhguru today. I will leverage technology today to participate in this program organized by Isha Foundation. Moreover, I will take the first available opportunity to visit Coimbatore and be benefited by the spiritual guidance of Sadhguru. Friends, yoga has achieved new heights of recognition and acceptance in the last few years. Under the able guidance of our Prime Minister and with the active cooperation of people of our country, yoga has become a new identity of India today. It is a matter of great pride for every Indian today. The International Yoga Day is being organized on a large scale across the world. Some time ago, taking special interest in the popularization of yoga, our Honorable Prime Minister urged all the heads of the states as well as the village pradhans to embrace this great heritage of India. As a result, from Fiji in the east to San Francisco in the west, from top leadership to the common people, to people of all castes, creeds, nationalities, and races have joined this Yoga Day celebrations. Our Honorable Prime Minister Sri Narendra Modi had, while addressing the UN General Assembly, called upon the world community to celebrate Yoga Day. The adoption of this resolution by the United Nations was certainly a big step towards the welfare of humanity. Yoga gained further recognition worldwide when it was included by UNESCO in the representative list of the intangible cultural heritage of humanity on the 1st of December 2016. My dear friends, among many definitions of yoga, one of the most appropriate is yoga chitta vrittihi nirodha, that is the cessation of the mind instinct, that is chit, so that we are not mere slaves of our instincts and desires, but are their masters. In layman terms, it means something like controlling of our thoughts, our emotions, our tendencies and motivations, and training them in the positive direction. Yoga is not merely a good means of attaining physical fitness through asanas, it is much more than that. Yoga is also a means to connect a person to oneself by removing the restlessness and confusion inherent in our worldly existence. It is a medium to connect to oneself. Yoga is a means of knowing oneself in solitude. Today is the International Yoga Day. I congratulate and wish you all the best for this day. Our body and our mind are inextricably linked to each other. Yoga keeps our body and mind healthy. Similarly, our health also depends on the quality of surrounding air and soil as well. We have a saying, Dharmo Rakshati Rakshita, that is, whoever protects Dharma, Dharma protects him. The same is true for both yoga and soil. That is, those who practice yoga and conserve soil, yoga and soil pave the way for their well-being and prosperity. Friends, Guru has a very exalted status in our culture and tradition. He is given the status of Brahma, Vishnu, Mahesh, and Parameshwar. The literal meaning of Guru is great. It is believed that Guru is the one who guides us from darkness to light. I would add that the Guru is the one who enables the disciple to eliminate the deep darkness with his own inner light or radiance. The Guru does not teach to run away from bad situations, but to conquer such bad situations by the power of his mind, word, and deed. That is, by exercise of his willpower. Guru Vasistha and Guru Vishwamitra didn't try to shield Rama away from the darkness of unrighteousness, but taught him to face the forces of darkness, fight them, and establish righteousness in society. The same applies to transforming untruth into truth and transforming the fear of death of mortal body into the bliss of the immortality of our soul. I also look at Sri Sadhguru in the same way. You are teaching people to live happier and more meaningful lives through yoga on the one hand, and also inspiring them to address the environmental problems on the other hand, thus contributing to the human well-being in multiple ways. Friends, if you look at the history of humans, you will find that all the great personalities who have done the work of giving direction to our society have first gone through introspection and deep contemplation at their own individual level, and after attaining true wisdom, they have traveled from place to place to spread knowledge. From Mahavir Swami, Mahatma Buddha to Guru Nanak, Swami Vivekananda, and Mahatma Gandhi, you can see this is a common feature in the lives of many great personalities. Sri Sadhguru, I am sure, would have gone through the stage of introspection and contemplation before attaining the true knowledge and wisdom. And as is he specialty of the gurus, none of their good thoughts or good work is limited to only a few people, castes, sects, region, or even any one country. Similarly, Sadhguru also didn't limit the spread of his ideas to the land of India only. To spread his wisdom, he has traveled to many countries of the world. If we look at the ancient tradition of our country, we realize that we have done the work of spreading world peace and similar humanistic ideas across many millennia. By giving the message of Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam, India has not only considered the people of living within its border, but the people of the whole world as one family. Sadhguru, by his work, has certainly brought to life the spirit of Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam by connecting a large number of people from all over the world into one thread for creating a new environmental movement. I would like to mention another attribute that I have noticed in Sadhguru. There have been many great personalities in our society who have shown the way to the world in getting rid of the problems of the material world. There have been many such sages who have rejected the world as mortal, have explained the path of attainment of the Brahma, and have given the message of transcendentalism to the people. But respected Sadhguru is one of those rare personalities who are enriching the material world through campaigns like Save Soil, as well as giving transcendental messages through spirituality. We are certainly very fortunate to have got direct inspiration from Sri Sadhguru. Friends, we are living in an era when there has been a persistent and real apprehensions about the irreparable degradation of environment. We see new data of soil degradation and increasing soil salinity every day. Scientists from all over the world claim that the fertile topsoil will last only for next 60 years or so. At such a time, the Save Soil campaign certainly provides a ray of hope. It instills a belief that the large number of people from all over the world who have joined this campaign will contribute in maintaining the health of the soil in the times to come. Friends, when it comes to soil, our immediate attention goes towards its fertility, its degradation, salinity, and other such environmental concerns. But the importance of soil is much broader and deeper than this. It is directly related to human civilization, culture, literature, history, art, and philosophy. The first step in the journey of human beings from nature to culture was land or soil. Here, nature refers to the original state of creation, that is, the stage of hunter-gatherers, and culture refers to practice of agriculture, which initiated the journey of human civilization. The beginning of agriculture is the starting point of our culture. With the passage of time, the food habits, dress, customs, way of life all become part of the culture, and all of them are invariably linked to the local and along with the local soil, climate, and water resources, etc. Dal bati churma in Rajasthan, or bhat in Bengal, Bihar, or idli sambar in Tamil Nadu didn't randomly become a part of the local cuisine. The weather, water resources, as well as the soil have been the main reasons behind local preferences. The kind of crops that the soil will allow to be grown in a place would determine the food and culture of the region. Sri Giriya Kumar Mathur was a great Hindi poet. In a few words, he presents this in a wonderful way, stating that the piercing or soil by plow, a metaphor of the coming together of nature and the human effort, give birth to the human civilization. I want to share it with you. हल की जिसकी नोक से बेजान मिट्टी झूम उठती, सभ्यता का चांद खिलता, जंगलों की रात मिटती. When man progressed from uncivilized existence to civilization, he progressed only because of the land covered with bountiful, fertile soil. In our culture, rivers like Ganga, Yamuna, Krishna, Kaveri, Narmada, and Godavari have been recognized as mothers. There is a good reason behind this. Who is a mother? The one who gives us life and nurtures us. Rivers do the same thing. On the one hand, they provide us with abundant water. On the other, they continue to make the land fertile and enrich our life by bringing different types of soils from far and wide. The best example of how land and soil make up our history is the emergence and development of many of the world's civilizations. Be it the Indus Valley civilization, the Mesopotamian civilization, the Babylonian civilization, or the Greek civilization, all have been connected by rivers in some way or the other. Rivers are the mother of civilizations. Therefore, whether it is the divine Vedas or the Holy Bible, the Guru Granth Sahib, or the Quran Sharif, the Avesta, or the Talmud, rivers have an important place in all the ancient religious texts. Inevitably, we see the effect of our soil on art, literature, philosophy, etc. In fact, every aspect of life. There is a very close relationship between land and security as well. Such land, where soil productivity is high, there is peace and prosperity and less conflict. Whereas such land, where there is a lack of soil productivity and natural resources, there is a greater possibility of conflict and deprivation. Some commentators believe that there has been a breakdown in internal security in the Middle East or some African countries in the past because there was a shortage in natural resources like agricultural productivity and water. Whereas, fortunately, our country has never faced such a situation. Probably understanding the importance and the greatness of the land which sustains us, our ancestors had said, Mata bhumihi putroham pratibhya. That is, the land is our mother, and we are all its sons. And this is the reason why Bhumi Puja is done before initiating a new construction in this country. It is in this way of puja that permission and the blessing are taken from the land so that the construction work can be completed without any hindrance. It is also a good way to show our gratitude towards the land which has given us everything. Soil is not just soil, but the soul of our society and culture. In such a situation, the campaign of Save Soil is being run vigorously by all of you. It is not only an effort to protect the most important layer of the earth, but a great effort to preserve the human civilization and culture. As a child, we had read a couplet of Kabir in our textbook, which was as follows, माटी कहे कुम्हार से तू क्या रौ दे मोय, एक दिन ऐसा आएगा मैं रौ दूंगी तोय. At that time, we used to take its meaning in the context of Jiva, Maya, and Jagat. But that couplet is equally relevant in our ordinary life also. Humans have degraded and overexploited the land in the name of development through deforestation, excessive irrigation, overextension of groundwater, overuse of fertilizers, and various types of construction works. We have either swallowed the land, depleted the soil, or left it as a wasteland. Just a few days ago, while releasing the data about the earth, the United Nations said that up to 40% of land is now degraded, which is affecting about half of the world's population. This is a big alarm bell for the entire humanity. The whole world needs to be aware of the deteriorating condition of soil and the necessity of taking appropriate soil conservation measures. Friends, the ecosystem of our earth is built in such a way that the impact of environmental degradation in a particular geographical area is not limited to that area only. Its effect is much larger and even encompasses the whole world. Carbon emission is an example in point. Even if it is happening in one country, it definitely affects all other countries. That is why all the summits, conferences, conventions, and agreements regarding global environment protection, whether it is Rio Summit, United Nations conventions to combat desertification, climate change convention, Kyoto Protocol, or Paris Convention, they guide all the countries of the world in a similar way to act in unison. As a responsible nation, India, guided by its tradition and culture, has continuously striven for soil conservation. We have understood very well that soil conservation cannot be done by focusing only on the soil. Therefore, we have tried to conserve and increase all the other components related to it, such as afforestation, wildlife, wetlands, etc. Friends, it is well known to all of us that the solution of collective problems will also be possible only through collective efforts. Therefore, it is necessary today that we all try to protect the soil and environment and move together towards a better world. Knowledge of history is necessary for human life so that we can learn from it and give better direction to our future. We are such fortunate people that our culture evolved in the lap of Mother Nature. Even today, we wish not only for peace for humans in auspicious world, but also for the peace of earth, sky, water, air, fire, medicine, nature, that is entire environment and even peace itself. These are the edifying values of the land of India. Human civilization has progressed so far that it is neither possible nor advisable to go back into the past. But it is definitely possible that we should find new technologies in the field of science and make such innovations which will keep our eco-friendly values intact. We should become companions of nature and have a sense of reverence and respect for the living beings as well as the inanimate elements of nature. This should be our aim. I have full faith that the gradually human civilization will overcome the environmental problems of our times and build a happy, prosperous, equitable, and sustainable future for all of us. Friends, if you look at the root cause of most of the problems that exist in our society today, you will find that it is because of the lack of broad-mindedness among ourselves. Everyone is living for his own sake. My body, my job, my home, that is just I, me, and myself. And this is the result of narrowness of the mind. To do such selfish calculations is the work of small-minded people. Nations are not even hesitating to fight with each other for unjust and selfish gains. In such a situation, yoga is becoming more and more relevant for us today. Yoga teaches us to embrace the whole world by making our mind broad and liberal. It is said, Ayam nijah paroveti gadana lagu chetsam udar charitanam tu vasudhaiva kutumbakam. It means, this is mine, this is his. Such is the thinking of narrow-minded persons. On the contrary, for the liberal people, this whole earth is like a family. The message given by our ancient sages thousands of years ago to humanity is equally relevant to the world today. Yoga is a great medium to spread this message of human fraternity. Finally, I extend my deep reverence and best wishes to respected Sadhguruji and the Isha family. Keep going like this, keep moving forward, keep making people aware of soil and environment, and keep making our valuable contribution to the preservation of human civilization and culture. My best wishes are with you. Thank you very much. Jai Hind. सदगुरु जी को मेरा पुनः शीश झुकाकर प्रणाम.
Thank you very much to the Honorable Raksha Mantri for his wonderful words of cheer and wonderful words of encouragement for our Sadhguru. Ladies and gentlemen, we have Sadhguru with us now. We've been waiting for a long time to see him, and I'd like to request Air Marshal S.K. Indoria, Senior Air Staff Officer, to please accompany Sadhguru to the stage. Without much ado, I'd like to request our soil champion, the lone motorcyclist, the one that needs no introduction, Sadhguru, to please share his pearls of wisdom with us.
Namaskaram, sir. Please, you please.
न जानाति भव जननम् कालो न जानाति भव समापनम् दृष्टो मया तव महाकारः योगेश्वर काल काल योगेश्वर काल काल.
Namaskaram. Namaskaram to everyone. Sir, please, please, sir. That's a wonderful background. When we were early on, when I was part of the hang gliding groups in India, one of the things was when we shake hands, always the thing was to say, "What's the point living if you can't fly?" as if we were birds. But that's how it was. And then I realized I built my own little contraption which I called a hang glider and tried to fly. I did fly for approximately 22 to 23 seconds, and then it went down crashing, and that was the first time I broke both my ankles, and then I went on to fly later on with a better built craft. That reminds me of, you know, can I tell you a story? Hello? See, I'm sure Air Force is full of stories. Hello? So, this happened once upon a time. Now, you can't tell a story to this kind of crowd. If I say once upon a time, you must say, ha ha. Hello? Once upon a time, yeah. A baby turtle climbed up a tree and went and sat on a branch, on the edge of a branch, and jumped and fell flat on the ground. Again, it took him another 3 days to slowly climb up the tree, went to the same branch and again jumped and fell flat on the ground. This went on for a few days. The two birds who were sitting in the opposite tree looked at this and one of them said, "I think it's time we tell him he's adopted." So, what to do? They told me they will take away my flying license when I turn 70, so I got back to my motorcycle. So, the Save Soil movement has gone through 27 nations, as you know. How many kilometers, huh? Does somebody have a number, exact number? Somewhere over 28,000 kilometers. And in India, we've gone through this 8, 9 states now. Everywhere, everybody has signed MOUs and people's response has been spectacular on the ground. About 6 days ago, an agency which gives us social media metric says that the conservative estimate would be that about 3.2 billion people have responded to Save Soil message. What is the point of moving these people? People are asking, okay, if they say yes, what will happen? See, not in a single nation anywhere in the world have people, 60% of the adult population has ever stood up and expressed their concern for long-term well-being of their nation or the future of their children. No, they're only asking for 2 rupee discount in the petrol price, they will get it. They're asking for 1% reduction in their income tax, they may get it. Like this, they're asking mundane things are happening. Never has any population stood up in great numbers and said, we are concerned about the long-term well-being of the nation, we are concerned about our children and the future generations. This has not happened. So Save Soil is that movement which is trying to move people to find expression, to express their love and responsibility, the life that we are, the life that's around us, and the life that should be beyond us. To express this is what this movement is about. Why is this needed? See, in a democratic nation, governments are elected for 5 years in this country, in most countries it is 4 years. Please be honest about this. If you yourself are elected, either as a chief minister or prime minister or president of a given nation, for 4 years or 5 years, tell me, would you want to do maximum number of things which will bear results within 4 or 5 years? Or would you do things which will bear results in 15 to 20 years? What would you do? Be honest about this. Hello? Short term, isn't it? That's all that's happening, because governments cannot do anything long term unless people mandate them to do it. First of all, governments are not elected to do fantastic things. They're elected to fulfill people's mandate. Where is the mandate? Not in a single nation, there is a mandate like that. At the same time, not in a single nation, the soil organic content is at even the minimum required. Minimum 3% does not exist in a single nation across the world. The highest we have is in Northern Europe, which is 1.48%. In Southern Europe, it's 1.1%. In United States, it's 1.25%. Africa as a continent, its average is 0.3%. Anything below 1% is considered desertification, and India is 0.68%. This is where we are already on the verge of desertification. If we don't act now, we will be a very regretful generation. This is a great challenge that is facing us. At the same time, a great privilege is at hand that we as a generation are in a cusp of time where if we act now, in the next 10 to 15 years, we can make a significant turnaround. If we wait for another 25, 30 years' time, even if we want to, we cannot turn it around because the biodiversity loss is happening at that pace. On an average, according to UNFAO, the biodiversity loss is about 27,000 species, not organisms. 27,000 species are going extinct per year. At this rate, somewhere between 25 to 40 years from now, this slide that is happening of biodiversity loss, it will go into a tumble. When it goes into a tumble, there is nothing we can do. There is simply nothing we can do. It is still in the slide, we can arrest the slide and push it back. It's very much possible to do this, it is very much within our powers to do it. It is not something that requires some rocket science, nor does it require enormous financial outlays. All that is needed is we face the right direction and there is a relentless commitment to fulfill that. For this, if the governments have to go this way, people have to mandate it. Government should know people want this, because in our country it's happened repeatedly. Whenever governments took long-term steps, next election they're gone. Most political parties have learned this. Best thing is to give you money, cash is the best thing to give you, or maybe saris, maybe computer, maybe jewels. If they do long-term work, they will be gone. Can you assure them that if somebody takes up the well-being of India long-term, we are with them? Hello? This is very needed. If we, as citizens of this nation, if we do not assure the elected governments that if you take long-term steps for the well-being of this nation, we are with you. If this statement is not made by citizenry, political parties will always do short-term things because after all, they have to win the election also to be there. Otherwise, they become irrelevant. You must understand, I'm not a sympathizer of political personalities, but I'm telling you, suppose you had a job like this, today we'll place you right on the top. Tomorrow morning if you lose the election, you are in oblivion, you're gone, finished. If you had a career like this, you would also be anxious to do short-term things, hello? Let's be honest about this. So this is the nature of democracy. In a democracy, real sensible things must happen means people must voice it and voice it strongly. Fortunately, now, as I said, the metric is saying over 3.2 billion people have voiced it, but we must keep up the voice, it's important. I must tell you this, when I started in London, the day before I started on 21st of March, I was interviewed by… You okay if I move around? I've been riding since 10 o'clock in the morning, my legs are all a bit numb. So, a lady journalist was interviewing me. She said, Sadhguru, I've been following you for so long. Why have you picked up something as unromantic as soil? Who is going to be with you for this soil? Who is interested in soil? I said, see, it is not about somebody is interested in or not, whether it's popular or not about whether it's romantic or not, it needs to be done, that is the important thing. She said, Sadhguru, you really disappoint me. I can't believe you've taken such a subject. Who is going to support you? Nobody is going to support you. Well, 3.2 billion people have spoken. It's been a tremendous journey. As I said, people's response has been spectacular. Fortunately, most administrations, almost all administrations, I think nearly 25 nations that we traveled through have signed something with us, and another totally 74 nations have made declarations that they will implement the Save Soil policy. The Save Soil policy is… this is for India, this is over 500 pages. This is a technical document which took over two years with top-level scientists working with us, we made this. Now we have prepared 193 documents like this, unique documents for 193 nations, based on the latitudinal position, its economic conditions, the soil type and agricultural traditions of the given nation. These documents, unique documents made for each nation, has reached all of them. When I spoke and addressed COP15, we made soil the main agenda and it has sunk in very well. 74 nations already made their declarations that they will implement the policy. This is a technical handbook. The countries have to make their own policies according to their economic strength, and we are also hand-holding the smaller nations. When I say smaller nations, about 131 to 32 nations fall under the category of smaller nations. So we are hand-holding this by creating a scientific committee of approximately 25 people, where we will handhold because they don't have the necessary facilities and capabilities to do. Larger nations have their own means to do this. This is an incentive-driven policy where farmers should be offered incentives to raise the organic content. Well, this is very very wonderful to be here among the forces, but this is the first event for me in Tamil Nadu after this nearly 100 days. What is the number of the event? Let's see. This must be 617 or 618th event in this nearly 100 days. So it's not only about riding these distances, it's been these on an average 8 to 9 events per day. So I've been busy, you know. So most people thought I won't make it, Sadhguru, this is impossible. But at the same time, they constructed a schedule, a program schedule, where there is not a single day of contingency plan. There's no contingency, either for the man or the machine. But both have reached here without any need for contingency. Why has this happened? Why have we done this to the planet? Is there some evil force sitting somewhere wanting to destroy this planet? No, there is no such evil force. It is just human beings, you and me, in pursuit of happiness. In pursuit of happiness and human well-being, we have done this. This is how it is. Every one of us are partners in this destruction. The only way around is every one of us become partners in the solution. That's the only way forward. But why? Why means it's like this. Can I tell you a story once again? I did not hear appropriate noises for the previous story. Once upon a time, there was a potato farmer. And one day he wanted to eat mangoes. So he went searching for a mango tree, and he found a mango tree, the right tree. And he wanted to eat mangoes, but out of sheer habit, started digging the ground for mangoes, because he's a potato farmer. And he dug a little bit. When he found no mangoes, he became very furious and dug furiously. And as he dug furiously, slowly the tree came down upon him This is the story of humanity. In pursuit of happiness, in pursuit of well-being, see whether you're joyful or miserable in your life at any given moment, did it happen within you or did it happen around you? Hello? Always within you. Pain and pleasure happens within us, joy and misery happens within us, agony and ecstasy happens within us. Anything that ever happens only happens within us because human experience is manufactured within us. So something that is created within us, if we search outside, inevitably it'll be a disaster. When I was in the United States, somebody was telling me it seems someone has found 300 planets just like Earth, a few million light years away, and some of these planets are 10 times the size of planet Earth. They want to go there. I said, all the best for you, you must leave. It's a few million light years away. But I told them, see, even if we find 8 billion planets and give one planet to each one of them, I'm not saying one planet for husband and wife, each one planet. If you give 8 billion planets to the 8 billion people on this planet, as long as they're in pursuit of happiness, in about 100 years they'll destroy all the 8 billion planets. Yes or no? Because you're searching for something in the wrong place. If you're seeking happiness, you must turn inward. If you're seeking peace, you must turn inward. Any human experience, you have to fix it from within. External things will create comfort and conveniences for us. To what extent we wish to do, we should do it. But right now, it is in pursuit of happiness that we are in compulsive action. Once we have become human beings, we need to understand, we are the flower of evolution. We are the peak of evolution on this planet at least. I don't know about those 300 planets, what kind of people are there and what they will do to you if you go there. Who knows? So, this is the peak of evolution, but human beings are not feeling top of the world at all, unfortunately, because they have been given an intelligence which they don't know how to handle. See, right now, people are talking about stress, anxiety, tension, this, that. I was in conversation with a few top British psychiatrists. They were saying that there are 72 categories of psychological ailments. And I said, what are they? They were telling me many things and one thing really stuck in my mind. They said, one is compulsive nose-picking. That is also a psychological ailment, nose-picking. How's that? So anything becomes compulsive, becomes sickness. So right now in pursuit of happiness, what is here, if you pursue outside, you will naturally become compulsive. Once you have the intelligence of a human being, compulsiveness is a dangerous process. Once you acquire the intelligence of being human, you must become conscious, there is simply no other way. See, where every other creature, nature has given things like this, you know. They are born in such a way that 90% of their life is fixed by nature. Only 10% latitude for individual creatures to do their own thing. But with a human being, only 10% is fixed, 90% is left to you. Because you come reasonably unformed, you have to make yourself into who you are. And you are the only creature on this planet who is being referred to as a being. We don't call an elephant being, a tiger being, an ant being, grasshopper, no. Only you are called a being because you are supposed to know how to be. If you knew how to be, if you right now know how to be, would you keep yourself blissful or miserable? Say, when I ask a question, whether you say yes, no or your mum, I'm going to bless you. Blissful or miserable? See, what you want for yourself is very clear, highest level of pleasantness for yourself. Sometimes what you want for your neighbor may be debatable, but What you want for yourself is highest level of pleasantness. What does pleasantness mean? If this body becomes pleasant, we call this health. You want it? I'm blessing you, yes, no, mum. If this body becomes very pleasant, we call it pleasure. If this mind becomes pleasant, we call it peace. If it becomes very pleasant, we call it joy. If our emotions become pleasant, we call this love. If it becomes very pleasant, we call it compassion. If our very life energies become pleasant, we call this blissfulness. If it becomes very pleasant, we call it ecstasy. If our surroundings become pleasant, we call this success. Only to make your surroundings pleasant, you need the cooperation of people and forces around you. Because making the surroundings pleasant is not completely yours. There are other people, there are other forces, there are times in which we exist, there are various situations. But to make this body pleasant, this mind pleasant, this emotion pleasant and these energies pleasant is 100% your business. Hello? Well, this is one aspect of yoga, that who you are, right now how you are, is determined by you, not by somebody else. Because if somebody tries to determine what you can wear, what you can eat, where you can sit, where you cannot sit, you will say, am I a slave? But if somebody can decide whether you are happy or unhappy, are you not a horrible slave? Hello? Somebody can decide whether you're pleasant or unpleasant. Is this not slavery? This is the worst form of slavery, but most people have succumbed to it most of the time. Because today it is happening. Is it time to fly? Just happening I'm in downwind, that's the problem. Even so-called spiritual leaders are going about saying, peace of mind is the highest goal in your life. Such people will only rest in peace. Because if you have to enjoy your dinner tonight, even if you're not bursting with joy, at least you must be peaceful. Hello? If you want to enjoy the company of somebody who's sitting next to you, even if you're not dripping love, at least you must be peaceful. If you want to just enjoy the breeze and walk, at least you must be peaceful. So is peace a fundamental requirement in your life or the ultimate goal of your life? So this happened, I was to speak in Tel Aviv, not on this trip, a few years ago. I was flying out of Atlanta and I was to land there late morning and speak at 6:30 in the evening, but I ended up landing there at 6 p.m. because of some delays in the flight. Then I had only 25–30 minutes and I have this problem that I have in these 40 years, nearly 40 years now, a few months away from 40, I've never been late to a single event. So I don't want to break my reputation, so I quickly change in the airport and try rushing, and I'm famished. I'm super hungry because I'm flying an American airline, there's nothing edible on that plane. So I'm really hungry, but there's no time, so I rushed. Then I went, this doesn't happen to me at all. On that day, I was speaking in a very, a very popular restaurant. This doesn't happen to me at all. But when you're that hungry, it's just the right place, the venue. It was a popular restaurant. Restaurants are popular for many reasons. Some are popular because of the food, some are popular because of the ambience, some are popular because of the conversations that happen here. So this restaurant is popular because the most intelligent conversations in Tel Aviv happen in this restaurant, not in the parliament. It's the same there also. So, I went in and people were already coming in and they were greeting me, and one man came and said, "Shalom." I asked, "What does it mean?" He said, "It is the highest way of greeting." I said, that's your opinion, what does it mean? He said, no, really, this is the highest way of greeting. I said, all right, what does the word mean? He said, it means peace. I said, why would peace be the highest way of greeting unless you're born in Middle East? In South India, in the morning somebody comes up to me and says, peace. I'll say, what's wrong with you? I'm saying anything that you're deprived of, if you deprive yourself of something for long enough, then suddenly you think it's divine. Today if you say peace, people say divine peace. If you say joy, if you say bliss, they say divine bliss. If you say love, they say God is love. These are all things that human beings are capable of. Hello? Human beings are capable of being peaceful, blissful, loving. If you allow them… if they allow themselves to be, they're capable. But all the miserable people are busy exporting all this to heaven. Anything you say, it's all up there. I think the very idea that there is a better place to live than this is a crime. Hello? That there is somewhere else a better place than this is a crime. This crime has led us to this place that we destroy this, planning to go somewhere else to a better place, whether it's another planet that somebody is talking about, or a virtual space that you call as heaven, or whatever you want to call it. The moment you think this is not where life is, real life is somewhere else, then you are a disaster here. This we must change. This is why the Save Soil movement is under the Conscious Planet banner, because what we need is a conscious human being. Once you have attained to this level of intelligence, it's very important you're conscious, otherwise human intelligence is becoming a problem. Tell me, in principle, should intelligence be a problem or a solution? It's always a solution, it is the only solution. But unfortunately, human intelligence is becoming a problem because you're wielding it unconsciously. I'll ask you one more question, yes or no, it's up to you, I'm going to bless. Would you like to have a sharp intelligence or a blunt one? So once you have a sharp instrument in your hand, how you move your hand, how you hold it, which way you hold it, all these things become very important, yes or no? Why we do not give a knife to a child's hand is not because knife is dangerous, nor is a child dangerous. It is just that a child's hand is not steady enough and he is not conscious enough, he may do this and he may harm himself or he may harm somebody. So right now, this is all that's happening. You know, there is a issue, this is an evolutionary issue, it's not your fault. This is an evolutionary issue because genetic scientists are saying the DNA difference between you and a chimpanzee is only 1.23%. 1.23% is not much of a difference, isn't it? Hello? Physiologically, that is how close you are to a chimpanzee, just 1.23%. But in terms of your intelligence and awareness, you're worlds apart from a chimpanzee, and this is your problem. You have an intelligence for which you don't have a stable enough base. Today being, International Day of Yoga, I must remind you, there is a way to create a stable chemistry, stable physiology, where it will highlight your intelligence, that it works for you and the well-being of this being and every being. This is what intelligence should do. Right now it works against you, you may call it stress, you may call it anxiety, you may call it whatever, no speaking if you want to call it. But essentially, your intelligence is working against you. This one thing you must do in your life. Whatever else you do or you do not do, this one thing you must do, that in your life, you are never the problem. Hello? There are many issues around you, we will deal with it to the best of our capabilities, but I am not the issue in my life. Can you make this happen for yourself? This one thing you must do. You yourself are never the issue, but for most human beings, they are the issue. Their own thoughts, their own emotions are messing them up so badly. You're getting serious, huh? This happened. On a certain day, a lady went to sleep. I don't hear any appropriate noises. A lady went to sleep. In her sleep, she had a dream. In her dream, she saw a hunk of a man standing there and staring at her. Then he started coming closer and closer and closer. He came so close that she could even feel his breath, and she trembled, not in fear. And then she asked, "What will you do to me?" The man said, "Well, lady, it's your dream." What's happening in your head is your dream. It must happen the way you want it, hello? Life may not be happening the way you want it. At least your dream should happen the way you want it. Your thought, your emotion, your mind, your everything, what you do must happen your way. There are others in the world, they will do their own thing, it's always there. But at least what is happening in this one person must be your way. This one person must be the way you want him, isn't it? Hello? Others, they will never be 100% your way. Ask the married people, have they been 100% your way? 51% if they're happening your way, you are in control. 51%. If you try 100%, nobody will be with you. If you try 100%, not a single person will be anywhere around you, it's gone. So nobody will happen your way, that's not the problem. This one person must happen absolutely your way. If this person happened your way, will you keep him blissful, wonderful or not? You must do at least this much. If you can make the world wonderful, great. But if not, at least this piece of the world must become wonderful. You must promise me on this International Yoga Day that, I was in Mysore, I was just looking at this, the Prime Minister sitting on the ground with everybody else, lying down, doing yoga. Head of state doing yoga with people on the ground outside, where has it happened? Never happened. I said, this one man is doing all this. Well, got the International Yoga Day in the United Nations for the first time, 173 nations voted for a resolution for the first time for the Yoga Day. That was not a small thing. Since then, many things happened, but the most important thing that needs to happen is at least majority of the Indians should have some yoga in their life. Yoga does not mean twisting and turning and ending up like a leftover noodle. That's not what it is about. Yoga means union. Yoga means union. Right now, is everybody here breathing? No, check and tell me. Because don't take this for granted, one day when we check, it'll happen to you, it'll happen to me. I'll bless you with a long life, but it will happen anyway. Yes or no? So right now you're breathing, it's a tremendous privilege. Breath means what? You are having a love affair with the atmosphere. You are in union with the atmosphere. This breath, your present breath, what is gone into your lungs right now, we do not know where it was yesterday. Maybe it was in Eastern Africa. What do you think? Monsoon winds, I'm saying, what speed are they traveling? In 24 hours, I think they're reaching here. So we don't know where it was. If you experience this, if you really experience what I exhale, these trees are inhaling. What these trees exhale, I am inhaling. If you genuinely experience this, it's a great love affair every breath, yes or no? So right now you're doing yoga, but unconscious. Whatever you're not conscious of does not exist for you. See, right now these dinosaurs standing there, hello? Look at those big dinosaurs. Hey, don't turn back, huh? Come on. There is a huge dinosaur there, but you are not aware of it. It does not exist for you. I'm saying it doesn't matter what is the magnitude of something that's here. If you are unconscious, it doesn't exist for you, isn't it? And every time you eat food, you are in union with the soil. If you are conscious of it, did we have to do save soil business to you? unconscious. So you must understand, once you have come as a human being, with the competence you have, with the capabilities you have, with the intelligence that you have, unconsciously if you use these things, your intelligence is the most destructive force. Right now that's what it is, because what should have been the greatest possibility has turned against us in many ways simply because we are wielding it unconsciously. You know, some people, I know I shouldn't say this in the Air Force, but Air Force Station, but some people in India, we refer to them as unguided missiles. They can go anywhere and blast anywhere. We don't even know who they're aimed at. They will just go anywhere. Out of control missiles are there in our country and everywhere. So, if you're an unguided missile, an unconscious intelligence, intelligence becomes the most negative thing. Only if you're conscious, this intelligence becomes a tremendous possibility. It's my wish and my blessing. On this day, you must take some simple yoga. You don't think yoga means, not all that. Simple. Just sit and breathe. Just simply keep your hands together, because if you live like this, many things will happen. Just keep them together, not in prayer, simply together. Just breathe. Anyway you're breathing. Can you breathe consciously for 10-12 minutes a day? Hello? See, I'm not even asking you to do anything extra, you're already breathing. Just become conscious. Hello? Just become conscious, because this is your union and this is the basis of your life. This is the very basis of your life, isn't it? One day when this is not here, that means you're not here, it's gone. So right now it is on, you must conduct all the important aspects of your life consciously, like breathing, eating, drinking water, at least these simple things. If you do it consciously, you will know what it means to be in yoga. Because without being in yoga, there is no life. Without union, it cannot exist. You cannot exist without being one with this air around you. You cannot exist without being one with the soil around you. It's just that it takes conscious way of doing it, that's all. So twisting, turning, if you want to do, we can also teach you that. That has its own benefits, but the simple thing is just this, you're aware that you're one with everything, not in thought, just conscious. Like you're conscious that your fingers are moving, you're conscious that you're one with everything. If this much happens to you, you will be a blessed life. It's my wish and my blessing, you must be that way. May you know yoga and live a wonderful life. Thank you very much. So, our mileage reads at 28,134 kilometers, and this is the 653rd event, this event. And Namaskaram sir, I heard the Raksha Mantri is still on the video. Namaskaram sir, wonderful for you to stay, and we really are honored that you came on this day and did this. We really miss that you're not here physically, but it's wonderful you spent time with us on the video. Thank you very much, sir. Sir, if you can give one simple message like save soil, let's make it happen or something, it'll be wonderful, otherwise we would have sent you a placard or something.
Okay, Sadhguruji, I will do it.
Can't hear you.
Huh?
Can't hear.
Oh, okay. No, he said I will…
Thank you.
No, he said I'll do it.
So he says thank you.
Oh, okay. Fine. Namaskaram, sir. Thank you, please. Right, Tamil, no English? English is no?
It's coming, sir. May I now request? There are a few more people they're inviting up for the… May I now request Air Commodore Rajneesh Verma, Air Commodore K.A.A. Sanjeev, Air Commodore Rahul Gupta, Air Vice Marshal Srikanth, May I request all of you to please join Sadhguru and Air Marshal Indoria up on stage. We'd like to capture this moment in a photograph for the Safe Soil movement. Clap along, ladies and gentlemen, and have your placards up.
Thank you very much, sir. If you can turn around and...
Thank you very much. May I request all of you to please turn that way so that we can take a picture this way.
If you turn around, they will take it.
Hold your placards up, you're on camera.
All the air warriors should not think I am anyway flying, why do I need soil? You need to land, all right? Please.
Thank you very much. I'd like to now request the Assistant Chief of Air Staff, Air Vice Marshal S. Srikant, to please give the vote of thanks.
Good evening, one and all. Honorable Raksha Mantri Sri Rajnath Singh Ji, Sadhguru Jaggi Vasudev Ji, Air Marshal S.K. Indoria Sir, Senior Air Staff Officers, Southern Air Command, IAF, and all other respected guests. At the very outset, I wish to express my warmest greetings and best wishes to one and all on this International Day of Yoga event, which was concluded very, very successfully, thanks to one and all. योग धर्म नहीं विज्ञान है, इसी से सबका प्रमाण है, इसी से सबका सम्मान है. In other words, it is a science of wellness of youth which always interconnects mind and body. The phrase Yog Karma Su Kausalam means yoga is the efficacy of action. The Indian Air Force always strives for the propagation of yoga and to make it as a way of our daily life, as advised by Honorable Sadhguruji. We believe that yoga is the ultimate mantra for a person to recognize his or her power and potential, and a way to connect the person to his or her consciousness and nature. Today, the auspicious presence of these great personalities had made this year's International Day of Yoga celebration memorable and extraordinary for all of us. So, your esteemed presence itself has inspired us, and your words are ever invigorating. On behalf of the families of Indian Air Force, I express my heartfelt gratitude towards you, sir. The holy soul of India has always gifted such precious gems to the world, who have illuminated the world by becoming Vishwagurus. It is our blessing that the founder of Isha Foundation, Sri Sadhguru Jaggi Vasudev Ji, has spared his invaluable time to be with us today. The Safe Soil journey he had commenced to protect the soil, which is the base of our life, is being circumambulated today to 74 countries in 100 days. Most respected Guruji, we are ever blessed by your consistent efforts. I express a heartfelt gratitude on behalf of the entire Indian Air Force family. I also express my heartfelt gratitude to the Civil Administration and Air Force Station Sulur, who have continuously strived for the excellence of the entire program. Once again, I express my sincere and heartfelt gratitude to one and all. I end with a couple of couplets. ये फूल, ये खुशबू, ये बहार, आसमान के चांद और सितारे, इन सब से आप करें श्रृंगार। दामन आपका छोटा पड़ जाए, सदगुरु जी और ईशा से मिले आपको इतना प्यार। कर्म करो तो फल मिलता है, आज नहीं तो कल मिलता है। जितना गहरा यदि हो कुआं, उतना मीठा जल मिलता है। जीवन के हर कठिन प्रश्न का हल सदगुरु जी से ही मिलता है। तो जुड़े रहिए, खिले रहिए। थैंक यू वेरी मच। थैंक्स।
Thank you very much. Sadhguru is truly the answer to all our problems. He's got solutions for everyone. And as we celebrate the International Day of Yoga and his culmination of a journey that he's undertaken to redeem us from all the problems, may I request all of you to please join in the 1 billion voices, one anthem, one nation, one emotion. Please rise for the national anthem. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. A big round of applause for Honorable Sadhguru, Air Marshal S.K. Indoria, and the entire Indian Air Force family. We say thank you. Kindly remain in your places until he has taken leave. Please do not crowd around his motorcycle. He's still got a long way to go and he is going home. So please allow him to be able to go in peace. Thank you very much. Thank you, Sadhguru, once again.